And we're back with another Plastic Soldier Company review, this time taking a look at the brand new Allied Stuart M5A1 tank. Again, 15mm, 5 tanks in a box. And back gives you some color suggestions. Nothing too important back there. But let's take a look inside. Stuart, my favorite tank in the Allied force, my U.S. Flames of War force. The Allies, excuse me, the U.S., you're not going to have too much luck if you play a U.S. tank force in Flames of War, but the Stuart's still a lot of fun because you can just race across the battlefield real fast and open up with a bunch of machine guns. But anyway, let's take a look at this. So you get 5 tanks, 5 sprues. One of these already completed, which you'll see in a moment. And we'll do a quick close-up here. Details are extremely nice, as usual. The only bad thing about the sprue itself, I found, is that on every single sprue, the one side of this turret has a huge amount of flash on it. There's definitely something wrong with the molding process, but that is the only major bit of flash on the kit. So you can build 2 versions. You can build either the regular US Stuart or the British Honey. They give you the different tread options. And you get 3 different hulls, which is quite amazing here. You get this one, you get this one, and you get this one. Unlike other releases like the Panther that had 3 different tank variants in it and gave you different hulls for each one, this one of these might be specifically for the Honey. I don't know too much about the Honey, but most of these are just cosmetic differences. So this one has tools, for example. This one has, I think this is could be a standard US front. I'm not too sure, but this one has less fenders. This one has some extra fender detail in the front. Cosmetically wise, you can mix them all in, so you have a bit of variation in your force of tanks. And also you get this pieces for the Honey turret, so you have that big slide, which I don't know what purpose it serves actually on the Honey, but there it is. But you get turrets, you get a choice of backs, one with tools, one with nothing, and some other options. You get a hedgerow cutter, and you get British and US commanders for the top. Other than that, there's no actual other options on the kit, meaning optional accessories. The Sherman tanks had like jerry cans and some extra wheels, so you can customize your tank a little bit more. This has nothing apart from the 3 different hulls, which is good, but there's nothing you can take off the sprue to add to the hulls to even more customize it even more. But there you are, and I have one together. Goes together very quickly. Built this in about 10 minutes. The only build issue was the little axles that come off the back here. I had to trim down a bit because they didn't fit really well into the hull. It was leaving the kit a bit wobbly. But one thing they've improved on, which I really like, is that the turret now has little tabs on it, so you can attach it firmly without needing magnets or anything like that. The previous Sherman releases that I reviewed just had pegs, which held pretty well, but this is going to hold a lot better. So there you are. Now let's get on to the bad, and let me change camera angles and we'll take a look. Here we have the Plastic Soldier Company Stuart right next to the Battlefront Stuart, and you can see right away there is a definite size difference, and that is the issue I'm having with this kit. You can see that the Stuart on the left is much longer than the Stuart on the right, and also width-wise it's also much larger as well. It's also a little bit higher. The back comes up much higher than the other Stuart. So the question is, which one is more accurate to scale? And we can figure that out pretty easily by bringing in the other Plastic Soldier Company Sherman, which I built previously, And now I looked up the dimensions of the actual tank. The Sherman is supposed to be 19 feet long, and the Stuart is supposed to be 15 feet long. And if we put the Battlefront and the Plastic Soldier Company Shermans together, we can see that's the size difference. Oops. That in scale, that's pretty much 4 feet. So this one would seem to be pretty accurate. And if we take the other Plastic Soldier Company Stuart and put it together, you can see we're much closer. That's more like in scale to be about a foot. So the Plastic Soldier Company Stuart is way too big, unfortunately. The other disturbing thing is you can see that the Stuart is the exact same width as the Sherman. Again, in real life, the Stuart was a foot narrower than the Sherman, but here it's the same scale. So essentially, this Stuart, this light tank, is the exact same size as this medium Sherman tank, which is completely incorrect. So that is the biggest disappointment here. Like, again, with the Sherman, it was the exact same size as the Battlefront Sherman, but here, I mean, we're way off. I mean, this is not a light tank anymore by the looks of it. This looks like a medium tank. So that's one thing that is definitely disappointing in this release. I want to mention regarding the box, all the other releases had little pieces of paper with the instructions and the different model options to build, but Plastic Soldier Company has gone away with that, and instead the instructions, if you can see in there, are now on the inside of the box. I really hate this idea, mainly because to look at the instructions properly, you have to rip apart the box. And if you're only building, well, perfect example here, I just built one Stuart, and if I were to rip this apart to get the instructions to figure out how to build that one Stuart, what am I going to do with the rest of the sprues? I have to tape the box back up. So this seems a little, I'm sure they did this to save money, but it seems a little cheap. I mean, how much, they're still printing it. How much can printing it on a little piece of paper instead of on the inside of the box be? So definitely do not like this. It's a small annoyance, but it is an annoyance. But there you have it. And last thing is the price. Once again, we got $29, which is the same price that the Shermans were a couple years ago, so the prices have not changed. So there you are. Plastic Soldier Company Stuart. I'm a bit disappointed with this release, frankly. Detail, perfectly fine. Mainly, it's the accuracy that's the huge issue here. Most historical stuff, you want to be as accurate as possible, and they just blew it big time on the size of this thing. I mean, this is a medium tank. It's supposed to be a light tank. So, it's a good value, but if you're looking for scale accuracy, this release, unfortunately, way off. It is a good value, though. You have this being $5 a tank as opposed to the Battlefront one being, I'm not sure what the current prices are, $12, $14, so half the price. You just have to deal with the fact that you're getting Stuarts that are the same size as a Sherman. But there you have it, Plastic Soldier Company Stuarts.